is a core value.
Imagine my surprise when I was taking my oath at CIA and I noticed a rainbow on then-Director Brennan's lanyard, which I later learned was designed by Angle, one of the many employee resource groups here at the agency. I remember being stunned. Since then, however, I've learned that far beyond the resource groups, inclusion is a core value here. Officers from the top down work hard to ensure that every single person, whatever their gender, gender identity, race, disability, or sexual orientation, can bring their entire self to work every day.
Part of a human series on the CIA recruitment, I guess. I hope they get it done before Ted Lasso, because that starts in June. Joining us now, the nationally syndicated radio host herself, Dana Lash, and Buck Sexton, host of the Buck Sexton Show and a former CIA analyst. Dana, let's start with you. I thought after the first one they'd correct course, but they doubled down. Why?
I have no idea, Brian. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about identity politics. Look, is being gay going to make you spy on people less? I mean, especially if they're going to talk about John Brennan. Is being gay going to make you lie to Congress and break into staffers' emails and spy on people less? Is being gay mean that you're going to kill people less? I mean, seriously, what does this even matter? Just do your job. Nobody cares. Do your job. That's all that matters, Brian. I can't believe that this is even a topic of conversation, because this is how crazy the world has gotten. Right.
Nobody's anti-inclusion, but when it comes to the CIA, you want Jason Bourne, I thought, Buck Sexton. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, that's certainly what people would like to believe goes on at the CIA. I can tell you that there is actually a lot of paper pushing and sitting in long, boring meetings and drinking lattes, but there's also very important work that goes to the national security of this country, protecting people and defeating the enemy. And there should be a real sense of the need to be willing to take it to the other side and do what is necessary, whatever the cost may be, obviously within the scope of the law. And this notion that somehow making the focus of the agency's recruitment efforts increasingly on what you would call diversity and inclusion and multiculturalism, a lot of this left-wing jargon is disheartening for people, because we just want the best. The same way when you're talking about a brain surgeon, the same way you're talking about, somebody who's at the top of the national security hierarchy. We want the people that get the job done. Right. And yes, we don't care what their background is. We don't care what their preferences may be or what their ethnic origin may be. We just want the best Americans working in this fight. And these videos undermine that. I've had a lot of former people from the agency reach out to me and just say, it's embarrassing for us.
We
got to worry about China, not worry about the numbers of diversity and inclusion.
Hey, guys, I want to get to this next topic, too, because it's about how we live our lives. The CIA is supposed to be watching our back, and we would hope science is going to get our masks off and us back to work and back to our lives. But for some reason, the science is not caught up with practicality. And even Jake Tapper on CNN is questioning why the president is wearing a mask everywhere, even though he's vaccinated. Listen.
The CDC has given guidance that when you're with family and friends that are vaccinated in small groups, you don't need a mask.
So why does President Biden, in a room full of vaccinated journalists, with everybody in that room vaccinated, why does he need to wear a mask?
The president is going to continue to follow the CDC guidance.
But, Dana, it's not the guidance of the CDC. He's giving the wrong message.
Yeah, and you wonder why people are confused and then they become suspicious over this because of the messaging from the administration. There's so many times that the administration has contradicted the CDC, whether it's whether it's for a vaccination of pregnant women or 6 feet versus 3 feet, or et cetera, et cetera. The messaging has been really, really murky. And I mean, when you have him going out, he's vaccinated, he's wearing a mask outside, there's not a soul around. And what message are you sending to people? Good, reasonable people, Brian, are not trying to be conspiracy theorists. They just want clear answers from the government. And imagine if there was this entity that existed of people who could report on what was happening with the government and actually tell Americans that. The press, maybe, if we had something like that could do it without being propagandists.
Hey, Buck, you know people that don't want to get vaccinated, and you want them to have a reason to do it. You watch the President of the United States, that's a reason not to do it, because nothing changes in your life.
Well, this is the critical point. I mean, I agree with everything Dana is saying about the contradictory messaging, and it's absurd. And 6 feet, 3 feet, 60 feet, who knows what's going on day to day here. They change it all the time. It's arbitrary. But beyond that, the messaging campaign that they've been failing in so far is failing because people don't feel like they get to go back to normal because of people like Biden.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because now they want everyone to go back to college with vaccinations so you don't get back on campus. Well, part of the deal is then let me go back to normal if I go back. No masks, no distance, game on. That's what's got to be it. They don't see the good side in anything. They just want to restrict or use the word privilege. It's got to stop. Dana and Buck, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Privilege to get your life back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.